Hello, hello, my beautiful sweet Saggies. Oh my goodness, this month in June is all about time to filter. So, seriously, Sagittarius, you're gonna need to filter this month. And I know sometimes like it gets out of hand. We can't help it, but really, you're gonna have to really focus and help this. All right, welcome everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot and astrology, mediumship, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So, my gorgeous ones, this is going to be for June 20. Why do I keep wanting to say 2017? 2018. So, yes, it's true. This is going to be a time to filter. We have Mercury going into Cancer. Then we're going to have the Sun. We have Venus in Cancer already. We're going to have the Sun in Cancer. We've got all these oppositions. We have these quincunxes for you guys. And so I can just see it. Like, I'm laughing because I can just see it. Like, listen, you said, did you know I know you, right? Because I'm a Saggy moon. So we don't want to get mad. Like, we don't want to. So oftentimes we'll let stuff go, right? But because of the energy that's going to be going on this month, it's going to feel like people are going to come to you, and they may not even mean it the way that they're saying it. And usually you'll know the difference, but because of this energy, there's going to be like I wouldn't say miscommunication, because they're going to be able to communicate what they want. They just may have said it in the wrong tone and it may come out the wrong way. But their intention was there, and that's what you're feeling. And so you're about truth, integrity, and justice, right? And so when this happens to you this month, I need you to like really watch what you're saying and really watch. If somebody says something to you, normally I would say stand up for your boundaries and say what you need to say, because you need practice in this. But right now, this month, I need you to back off. I need you to be like, okay, I'm gonna count to 10. I'm just gonna think about maybe this person's having a bad day, or maybe it's the stars, right? Because it's going to happen. It's going to be a very sensitive time for everyone this month. And so somebody may normally come to you in a different way, but in this month, they may just like say something or do something, and it is going to like, this is the thing, Sag. So for those of you that aren't Sagittarius and are watching this, don't ever ask Sag to give you the truth about something, like, unless you want the truth about something, right? Because they're just going to say it without the filter. It's like my if you have a friend, and us girls, so if you have a friend and they say, how does this dress look? I mean, a Sagittarius will say, no, girl, you need to take that off. I mean, like, that's just how Sagittarius are. Don't ask us if you don't want to know. Like, it took me a long time. When I was younger, it used to be a problem. It's not a problem anymore. I know how to talk to people now. but it's like, and then when I was younger, I used to get confused. I'm like, why are they upset? They asked me a question and I answered it. Like, I don't understand why they're upset. So that's going to be happening this month. I need you guys to just take a deep breath. I need you to like, that's why I'm laughing at myself. And I'm laughing because I know Sagittarius has been in this situation where they're like, they asked me, so I told them. And then they get mad because I told them what they asked me. So anyway, so that's going to be happening this month. So let's go over the highlights. I'm not going to go in too deep. I'm going to get really deep in these videos that I'm doing on my website. I'm really excited about these videos because I get to like really go deep, and I get to say what I really want. Like, I have to kind of, like we were just talking about the filters, right? I have to kind of be filtered on YouTube, because you can't say certain things because you have people watching and you have these rules. And so on my website, I get to say and do what I want. Like, I get to really delve deep in there, right? And so that's why I'm excited about these videos. So this is just going to be the highlights. I'll have the link to the video to be able to purchase the downloads up in the corner, or at the end of the video in the description box below. Okay, so let's go over June 1st through the 3rd. We have a grand trine. Lucky us, we got another grand trine. So you guys remember what a grand trine is? This is a divinely guided gift being brought to you. This is going to be on an emotional level. So you have, my darlings, you've been working so hard with it. I'm so proud of you. I love you guys. So because I love you guys, because you just don't complain. You just do. Okay, And sometimes you need to complain. Sometimes you need to afford yourself that. So, I'm not going to get too deep right here. I promise I'm just going to try to stay at the highlights. So, you have this Jupiter, who is the guru, who is ruled by you. So, you're really being affected by it. Jupiter is the guru, the teacher, the mentor, the expander. I can say the expander. He likes to bring gifts, but he likes to expand the house with knowledge, which Sagittarius you love. And so he's been in your 12th house. Oh, he's been in there a while. So the 12th house is about completions. It's about this world and other worlds. It's about the connection to that. It's about the connection to your past, present, and future lives, right? So this has been in retrograde right now. And so you've been having to amend things that come in, or reorganize things that come in. You thought you had it figured out, but that it didn't happen. And you thought it was going to complete, but it didn't complete. And stuff like that's been going on. And then you have this Neptune. This is the grand water trine. So you have Jupiter in Scorpio. Scorpio wants you to go deep. Scorpio wants you to think about your money too. So, and your businesses and the things like that. And that's why Scorpio's been in there, right? And so then you have Neptune in Venus, sorry. Neptune in Pisces. And so they work really well together as well, right? So you have Jupiter, who is your ruler, and then you have Neptune working in Pisces, which is a really good place. And this is in your second, third, and fourth house. So your fourth house is your lineage, your DNA, your siblings. Where you came from, why you do what you do, right? And so Neptune's been in there, and you've been really, I'll say this for some of you, it's not everybody, but because remember, 20 years are different than 30 and 40, 50 and 60 and 70, right? And so you've been really trying to understand, especially with this trine, not the grand water trine, but this trine going on, really trying to understand who you are in connection with your lineage, right? Like, I'm really proud of you guys. You've been really trying to be accepting of, and I'm talking that deep accepting, I'm talking that place that nobody goes, right? Like that real understanding of why you were born into this family, why you do the things that you do, why your life is the way that it has been, why it was the way that it was. Like, you're really going in here because I see Neptune has been sort of taking those boundaries down, right? And the Piscean, both of them are this way. So Neptune is the illusionary. Well, so can Piscean as well, but Pisces has this way of looking at all the possibilities, which you love, right? And so I see where you're understanding, where you're sort of taking that down and being a little softer. And I'm not saying softer to other people, I'm saying softer to yourself, loving yourself, understanding that you too have, it's funny because they're telling me you too have rights here on this earth as a human, right? And so you have the right, just like everybody else, to be happy. You have the right to have the relationship that you want. You have the right to have the money and the travel and the big business and the life purpose. Like, you have that right just as much as everybody else. And this is what you're trying to figure out and trying to understand. And a lot of you are understanding. I can feel it. Like, a lot of you are understanding. Maybe you don't have it all figured out, because when we have it all figured out, let me just say this. When we have it all figured out of what our primary lessons are here, or what our primary purposes are here, then we're gone. And we're no longer needed here. Or we have other things to do. We're going to expand somewhere else, right? And so you may not know all of what's going on, but you sort of have a deeper sense of what's going on and a deeper understanding of you. And that's what I love about this Neptune and Pisces together, right? And this trine going on. And then you have this Venus in Cancer. And so although Venus is very sensitive in Cancer, and it will bring you love, luck, and money, not as potent as it will when it's like in Taurus or it's in Leo, but it will bring some things through. Plus you have these aspects over here. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I wanted to show you what the grand water trine was about, because a lot of you had that question, like, well, you guys didn't, and I'm talking to other signs that are watching. They had these questions of, how's that going to come in? What's that grand water trine about? Or what's the earth grand trine about? Or what's that fire grand trine about? Like, how's that going to come in for me? Well, I wouldn't know unless I saw your specific chart, but That's why they're general readings. But I'm trying to give you sort of an indication if you can apply this to your own life, right? And you said you know how to do that. So Venus is in your sixth house, right? I'm sorry, eighth house. Venus is in your eighth house. And so in your eighth house is about other people's money. Your eighth house is about um, understanding your power and who you are and taking control of that, right? And like shared resources with your partner, shared resources in your business, shared resources with an organization. This is all the eighth house stuff. And so maybe somebody did come in to help you. Maybe you got some, maybe if you own a business, like you got some money through that, like other people's money. You were doing your service, or you were doing your business, or you were selling a product, or you were doing something, and maybe it wasn't going anywhere for a while, and then it started this month of May to, you started trickling stuff in, right? And so good for you, Sandy. So that's what this grand water trine is about. And so it can come with love, luck, and money here. It can come with a lover here. It can come with the lifetime partner here. And, with this 12th house, this could be a karmic partner. This could be like the rest of your life partner. This could be like the rest of your life luck, or rest of your life love, or rest of your life money. Like in Jupiter, when you have that understanding and that expansion. I hope I'm not confusing you, but I wanted to kind of give you a guideline as to how this could come in. So that's why I say the best way that I can say it is the way that it will come in, or what it will be, is something that's felt on an emotional level. And it's a gift, okay? And so if you're paying attention, and if you're growing, and if you're trying, and if you're like, it doesn't mean that you haven't put any energy into it, because you don't have to put energy into grand trines to get to receive the gift. But that doesn't mean that you didn't, because you're intuitive. So maybe you started noticing that you had to pay more attention to this, or maybe you had to pay more attention to that, or maybe you had to put more focus and energy into something. Maybe you were just like feeling that you had to do that, and that may be part of your grand water trine that comes in. But if you're not paying attention, if things and this is needed for your path, right? It's something that you have said that you wanted to help you launch you into this, or keep you with your GPS on this path, right? And so it can be like it can be bliss, it can be harmony, it can be love, it can be happiness, it can be peace, it can be rest, relaxation, it can be any of that. But it can also be some sadness, and some understanding, and some learning, and some anxiety. It could be that, but I'll tell you, if it's that, it's that, and it gets you to a place of understanding and happiness and peace, right? It's whatever is needed for your path, and that's the best way that I can explain it without looking at your individual charts, okay? So that's the grand water trine that has to do with any of those. And what I did want to mention is, not only do you have this grand water trine on the 3rd, you're going to have, you see Mars and the moon, and the moon's not going to stay there for very long, but Mars and the moon are conjunct, and they're trining the sun and Mercury, okay? The sun and Mercury in your 7th house, Mars and the moon are in your 3rd house of communication. So I do feel with some of you that you're going to receive a message that's going to clear some things up about a relationship, or about some relationships that you're having. And I do feel like with this being in your 3rd house, it's going to be an opportunity for you to either communicate this when you get the message, or you can shut it down. Like if somebody comes to you and says something, and you're like, really don't want to talk about it right now, because you don't like conflict. And so this is an opportunity. Again, you can take it or not, but Mars wants you to, it's that it's that drive, it's that force, and the moon has an emotional connection to this, right? And this being your 7th house has to do with other people, has to do with the people in your life, whether they're on a big scale, or whether they're on a personal scale. This is the 7th house of mirrors, 7th house of boundaries, right? whatever this is to clear this up and bring you a message. Okay, so I will say that not only will you have this grand trine, and this could be like you get this gift of a new client or a new project or a cosmetics or new love. Maybe you get that, but you're able to somehow communicate whatever this message is. This may be tied in with this grand trine. Could be where you come to an understanding and this message is being brought to you so that you can clear this up, right? Because the sun wants to clear it up. Okay, so that's on the 3rd. That's a big day, but from the 1st through the 3rd, and even for some of you, even before the 1st, that grand trine is gonna start. Okay, so I don't want to go too deep. I'm trying not. Okay, so then we have the 6th through, I think it's the 8th. Hold on a second, I'll look at. Yeah, I want to talk about the 6th. So then you have this grand trine that you had on the 3rd, and then on the 6th, Neptune is squaring. And see, there's the moon again. So this is an emotion. I'm telling you, this is going to be an emotional month for you guys. So Neptune is going to be squaring the Sun and Mercury. Okay, so still Sun and Mercury. Mercury is the processor. Mercury is the messenger. Mercury goes between worlds. The sun likes to clear things up. The sun wants to give you sunlight and clarity and openness, right? And there's this square going on again with your 4th house of understanding of your lineage, of your DNA, of your siblings, right? And so with this square going on, something clears up for you. Something is, I'm seeing boundaries. Like this is your 7th and this is your 4th, and I'm seeing like you get this message or this understanding and you put boundaries. This is part of your growth, and it's emotional, but it's needed. Okay. You also have this quincunx here, and so it's going to feel like especially with this quincunx here. Remember, this is your 12th house, so it's gonna feel like, am I doing the right thing? Should I do this? I don't want to hurt anybody. Like it could feel like this because of this quincunx, because quincunx, that energy makes you feel off. And so you may feel like it's not divinely guided. You may feel like it's not part of your path, or that you could get away with it, right? But this is needed for you to get to the next level, because this is going to complete this. Does that make sense? All right. And so then on the 13th, just be aware of this day. Because I even looked at, like, even this has to do with you staying connected and you trusting you trusting you, and I'll explain that when I get to the tarot. Okay, so then we're talking about the 13th. So on the 13th, we have Mercury entering Cancer, where it's going to be very sensitive. So you have Venus in Cancer. It's going to leave Cancer. It's going to go into Leo. But then it's going to be, Mercury is going to go in there. And so this is going to be, again, a sensitive time, a sensitive message, it's just going to be sensitive this month. And so this is about you understanding that your words are very powerful. They're very powerful, okay? So this is in your 8th house of other people's money. So you may receive a message when Cancer comes in here. When Mercury comes in here, you may receive a message about that thing that you've been working on. Maybe somebody comes to you and wants to collaborate. And the reason that I say this is because it's in opposition to Saturn, okay? And I'm going to talk really in depth about the 2nd house for you guys on my extended video. So on my website, because there's something that I think that you guys need to understand about the 2nd house, and I won't go I'm not going to go in depth. I just want to say that Mercury is going to be opposing, so there's going to be a message that you've been working on, and trust me, if it's structured, if you've been working, if you've been staying true to yourself, if you've been keeping your eye on the prize, this is a gift coming to you. This isn't like something's going to be taken away. It's going to be a message being brought to you to bring something, right? So not only do you have that, but you have this 3rd house Mars opposition to the North Node, and that is in your ninth house of understanding and belief systems, right? And so let's let me talk about this. So Mars is going to be retrograde on the 26th, but it's still moving back right now, and so it's in Aquarius, right? And so Mars in the third house rules communication, friends, neighbors, siblings, any of that. And so again, I'll go in depth on that other video, but this is while it's retrograding in your third house, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to communicate. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to deal with these things and these people and these situations, and that's why I'm saying you can really, really hurt somebody right now with your words in the month of June. So be very, very careful. But let me say this: some of you, if you don't ever do this, if you don't ever like talk to the people that you really want and put those boundaries in, now's the time to do that. Mars is going to help you do that, right? This is about adjusting and making a habit. And then with this being in your ninth house, this is really important for you, because yeah, we talk about the ninth house being your hopes and dreams and being your belief system, but it's really more than that. It has to do with your gurus, your teachers, your mentors, your advisors. It has to do with your future plans. So again, I'll go really in depth in that other video, but this opposition is telling me that they're both trying to get you to the same place. They're just having a hard time doing it because each of them are trying to be the leader. Where this opposition seems to me like you've been doing the work and something's going to come through. This opposition seems like it's a little bit harsher for you. Okay? So also on that day, we have Venus at the 29th degree of Cancer. Cancer wants to be expressed in a very nurturing way, trining your Chiron in Aries. So let me say this: if there are things that you have begun, if there are things that you've been putting into, these new things that you had started when Chiron went in there, it's going to trine, and Venus wants to bring love, luck, and money to you. And that would be in your first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So, could be love. Could be a past love from like another lifetime. Could be, if you've understood that nobody can do anything to you that you haven't agreed to or allowed. If that's a real understanding for you, could be love coming in. Could be love, money coming in. Could be luck coming in. This has to do with this old wound that you've been working through, and it's going to bring you a gift. Okay. Again, you're gonna feel off with this quincunx. So it's like there's something under the surface. There's something that just doesn't feel, it just feels off, right? Because that's the sun and Pluto conjunct. So there's going to be some things being brought up to you, but it's going to feel off. It's going to feel like, am I really feeling this? It's almost like you're not believing it. No, it's almost like you're not understanding. No, that's not the word. Sorry. It's almost like you're not trusting yourself at this time. And again, this has to do with your tarot, and I didn't even realize that until I was doing this video, that how connected it is to your tarot, because this is really important about you trusting yourself. Okay, so just understand that on that day that'll be happening. And then you have the new moon in Gemini on that same day. So you got a lot going on this day. It's about letting go. About manifestation. So there could be some, there's some things coming in. You got this trine, you got Venus doing this, and then you have Mars, where I feel like there's a gift here. Okay, so you have the new moon. The new moons are about new beginnings. The new moons are about manifestations. The new moons are, and see the new beginning here too. Yeah, there's something going on here. And so I have 2 videos talking about the new moon and the full moon, and I'll leave it in the description box below. Please look at those so that you know how to use this energy to manifest. Okay, so you have that new moon in Gemini in your 7th house. New beginnings, manifestations. If you've been working on relationships, if you've been working on trying to get something, if you've been working on your business, if you've been working on people around you and the way that you want things, and like that's the new moon here. That's the new moon, and it's very Gemini, so it's lighter, it's airier, it's something that's been researched, something that's been looked upon, something that's been really delved into. Okay, so that's what I can say about the new moon. Remember, it is going to be opposing Pluto, yeah. So it's not completely opposing Pluto, but it's like, I say it's not because it's quincunx, but it's like yeah, it's like what I said. It's gonna feel off. It's just gonna feel off. All right. So then we have on the 14th. On the 14th we have Leo, Venus entering Leo. So Venus is gonna it's gonna feel much better going into Leo. I won't say better. It's just gonna feel different going into Leo. It's gonna be refreshing. It's gonna be lighter. It's gonna be better. Why do I say better? It's not better. It's just this is a little deeper. This is a little slower. This is, but when it comes into Leo, it's a little bit lighter. It's about fun. It's about passion. It's about the different other aspects of uh, Venus, right? And so it also conjuncts the North Node here. And I haven't spoken too much about the North Nodes, but the North Nodes are they have to do with like your life purpose and getting an obsession. Like you'll be obsessed with trying to figure this out, or you can be. And so this being in your ninth house of belief systems, this is a gift. She wants to bring gifts. Venus does, and so you may get love, luck, or money coming in through this when it conjuncts your North Node. If you've been really, really paying attention, and you have with your third house, if you say what you need to say, if you keep your boundaries, if you maybe you say something and then you go back and you apologize and say, let me say it this way so that you understand and that I understand and we can get on the same page. Like if you do stuff like that, that's Mars using Mars in the right energy. And then Venus can bless you with this stuff. Venus can bless you with that higher vibration of love, luck, and money. But this has to do with this understanding. And again, I'm going to go more in depth in that video. I'm sorry I keep mentioning that video, but every time I want to go deeper into something, I got to bring myself back. So, then on the 18th, sorry. So then on the 18th, actually I think it's the 19th for some people. Sorry, could be the 19th. Yeah. So it's either the 18th or the 19th. And again, it kind of depends on where you live. It could be a day off for people. So on the 19th, and I'm going by San Diego time. So on the 19th, Neptune retrogrades, and it's going to retrograde in your fourth house of lineage. So I feel like there's more working on what I had discussed in the beginning about understanding why you are the way you are and who you are and how you are in connection with your family and your siblings and the things around you and the that kind of stuff going on, really taking those boundaries down, really really discovering that deep inner core self, which is what you can do really well when you allow yourself to do this, right? Like instead of fighting it, because I know there were times, Sagittarius, where you were like, I cannot believe I'm in this family. I cannot believe I do the things I do. Why do I do those things? I know that there was a time like that. And now you're sort of understanding it's who I am. But why is it who I am? Right? And that's what you're sort of learning with this. Or coming to understand with this. So Neptune goes retrograde there. Then you have when it goes retrograde, you have this grand water trine doing its thing. Again, like you got some stuff coming, and then you'll still feel the effects of this Chiron and Venus, but you feel this quincunx here where it kind of feels off. And I think if I'm looking at your chart, Sagittarius, for this month, because of the message that I was getting from Spirit, it's almost like you put this in place, this quincunx in place at each point so that you can trust your intuition and your connection. That's what I'm feeling. Because if this quincunx wasn't here, you would have felt it easily. But because this quincunx isn't here, it's causing you to think all month when these other aspects are happening. Am I really feeling it? Am I feeling what I'm feeling? Or am I not feeling what I'm feeling? That's these quincunxes. And I think you did this I know you did this on purpose. But the reason I think you did it is because you're needing to trust yourself. That's the big message. You're needing to trust yourself and your intuition and your connection. Because where you're going is not going to look like where you've been. And so when somebody comes into your life, or a situation comes into your life, and it sort of looks like what it used to look like, but it's not going to be that, you're going to have to make a choice whether, how do I say this? I'm seeing there's a space where you're saying, well, my intuition is saying this, but my experience says this. That makes sense? And so, are you going to make your choice on experience, or are you going to make your choice on intuition? And that's a tough thing. And this is why you're going to need to be very connected. Yeah. That's all I can say about that. Okay, so on the 21st, yeah, on the 21st, the sun enters Cancer. And so when the sun enters Cancer, that's your eighth house. So there's some clarity being brought to this resources, these shared resources. Maybe it was like if you're trying to get a loan, or trying to get a house, or trying to get like more money, or trying to understand how you're going to share your monetary gains with you and your spouse, or you and a new partner, or you and a business partner, right? Like there's some clarity being brought that's going to clear this up for you, but it's going to be very nurturing. Okay, so on the 23rd, sorry, on the 26th, here we go. On the 26th, this is when Mars retrogrades, and it will be retrograde till August 26th or 27th, depending on where you are. It is going again to retrograde in your third house. And, we'll talk about that in the other video. But this could be having to do, remember, all retrogrades are about reorganizing, editing, amending, revising, completions, and so you'll be doing that. And let me say this, and I've said this to the other ones, to the other signs. When Mars goes retrograde here, the things that you're doing here, the things that you're reorganizing, editing, it's going to feel like you're trying to like push and push and push, and you're not getting very far with it. It's not going to be until September, October, yeah, somewhere around there. Could be a little earlier for you guys, but September, October is when you'll actually see the results of these things, right? So it's not that you won't see any results. That's when you're going to see the big results. Okay. So on the 28th, we have the full moon in Capricorn, and you've been working really hard in this house, and the full moon is going to bring. The full moon is about letting go, completions, and stuff can come through the full moon, right? And you feel this full moon for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your energy. And so, with it being in your second house, there are some self-worth, some old habits, some. That's what I'm gonna do. Go deeper into this, because I can tell you the surface stuff, which is like. There's some letting go of, understanding your worthiness. There's some letting go of understanding the possessions, and maybe there's some old possessions that you need to let go of. Like, it could be as simple as that. But there could be some completions in this understanding, and there can be some things that come through because of this understanding, right? And letting go. So, it's going to be very Capricorn, in that this isn't something you haven't been working on. You've already been working on it with Saturn and Pluto, and some of you are actually completing the cycle. Okay, so that'll be going on, but this has to do also, with your Chiron. So when this opposes the sun, because that's what a full moon is, when it opposes the sun, see how it's opposing Saturn? It has to do with this T-square here with Chiron. And if you don't know about Chiron, I have that video on my YouTube channel about Chiron. I'll put it at the end of this video. So watch that video so that you understand what Chiron is and how to work through the energy and what you're trying to understand and learn. And so this has to do with your... Yeah, This has to do with your resources and other people's resources, and the clarity and the hard work and structure in that, and the old wounds. Okay? So, finally on the 29th is when things will be a little better. So, if you've had some instances where you were like, had to walk away from something because they were just being like you were like, okay, I don't have a filter, so I need to be quiet, so I just need to take a breath, right? And so on the 29th would be the time that you can go back and talk to those people about that situation, or that understanding, or that thing that's going on, because that's when Mercury enters Leo. And when Mercury enters Leo, and it is conjunct your North Node, when Mercury enters Leo, you'll not only be able to communicate better, but you'll have a better understanding when you communicate. Like maybe you saw it one way, and then you were like, well, Cindy said just take a breath, so I'm gonna take a breath. And then maybe like on the 29th you're like, you know what, shoot, I understand why that was the way that it was, and so I'm gonna go back and talk to that person, or delve into that situation. Like that could happen on the 29th. I'm not saying that will, but it's like that. It's like you'll have this better understanding so that you can go and communicate this. That makes sense? So, that's the month of June. Again, I will have that extended video where I explain the houses, the aspects, and really delve into that, because that second house is no joke for you guys right now. Okay, so this is your tarot spread. So this is your going into June. This is you, the Strength card. And so the Strength card is really interesting, because what I'm feeling for you guys in the Strength card is about mind, body, and soul. So all of that being together in the knowing. This is, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, you have this knowing, and then you won't manifest because the mind or the body aren't together with the knowing, which is like the knowing can be part of your soul. I hope I'm not confusing you. I don't know how to explain this. So let me say, when I'm seeing this, I'm feeling like this is about being in that space of mind, body, and soul connection, and the physical body, like the physical body, the heart, the mind, the soul, being together for longer periods of time in the knowing. Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it another way, but I can't. I can get it just this way. Okay, so let me explain it another way. So in the month of June, it looks like you start out understanding how to get what you want, or how to have these relationships, or how to deal with this person, or how to deal with this thing, where you get what you want and they get what they want. Okay, so that's a lighter way of saying it. So that's where I see your first position. In your second position, and this is the important one, this is the one that has to do with the astrology. In your second position, this is your challenge. The challenge is the High Priestess. The challenge is staying in this for longer periods of time. The challenge is staying connected. And I already said this in the astrology part. There are going to be things that are coming to you this month where you're going to have to make a decision, because it's your world you're creating, right? You're going to have to make a decision of, do I go on my intuition or do I go on my experience, right? But let me say this, for some of you, there is a way to do both. There's a way to bring it together. And that, my gorgeous ones, is called creation, okay? So some of you are moving into this time where what your world used to look like does not look like that anymore, and you're moving into the space where it's never been. And so even though people may come in and look like what used to be, is not. It's new. And so there's a way to incorporate your intuition and your experience to make the choices needed to make. So stay centered. That's your challenge. Stay centered. Heart, mind, body, soul. Okay? Stay centered, stay centered, stay centered. That's all I can say. I don't know why they're having me go so deep with you guys, but they're having me go deep with you guys. Okay. So And that's in all areas of your life. So in your third position, this is your fate, your destiny. So you have the Six of Coins, and the Six of Coins are all about balance. The Six of Coins is, if I've been giving too much, it is now time to back off and not give so much. If I haven't been giving any at all, I've been isolating myself, it's time to give more to the world. Okay? And this can be in micro or macro. Like if you've been giving too much money and spending too much money, maybe it's time to start saving a little bit. If you've been working too much, maybe it's time to rest. And there's going to be the balance in that, okay? And this is where you're going to. This is your fate, your destiny, is understanding the balance in everything for you. That you can travel, you can have a solid relationship, you can have money, you can have stability and still be able to do all the things that you want to do. But you're trying to figure and understand that out, right? And so this is where you're coming to, where you're balancing your ego, your heart, your mind, and your soul. That's it. That's it. You're balancing your ego, so your heart, your mind, your soul, and your body. That's where your destiny is, understanding the balance and all of that. So you have points of it where you're at, and there's some situations that have come up that you're really like being balanced in, but there's going to be more coming up that may throw you off. And so the only way to know is to stay connected and stay balanced. Make sense? Now, the overall outcome and what you'll be working through in the month of June is the Ten of Wands. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. This Ten of Wands is about you actually overcoming and getting through those things. Even though you're tired, you are going to win. You are going to get what you want. And there are going to be small battles, and there's going to be some bigger ones, but you're going to get what you want. And even though, see, he's so tired. He's so tired. He's like, let me just rest right here. But let me tell you something about this man. Because it's a 10. It's completion. This man is the one that has like no more strength and no more vitality and is so overcome and overwhelmed. But he pulls from the deepest parts of himself, and he gets up and he goes and he finishes it. And that's where you're going to be doing this month. You're going to be winning at the things that you really want. You just have to pull from within, deep within. Get up. Like, I mean, I'm an athlete, so to me, I know that the mind can do things. And so you just have to set your mind, set your heart, set your body, and say, doesn't matter, I'm going to do it. Doesn't matter what anybody says, doesn't matter how tired I am, doesn't matter how sick I am. I'm going to do it because that's what I want to do. I don't care if my leg won't move or if my body won't get up, I'm still going to do it. I'll figure it out. And that's this 10 of Wands. That's what you're going to be doing all month. All right, my beautiful Saggies. If I don't have the video up in the link, it'll come out really, really soon. I'll try to have the astrology one, and then I'll do the tarot one later. But I'll have the extended video up there, okay? I love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful month. Bye.